yes, and welcome to a special edition of Stop Being So Stupid. First off, this is going to feature a long-ass intro as well as being bound to annoy some people. In fact, that's what I'm setting out to do here, because I'm going to flex an ungodly amount of ego. Enough to make Dev look like he's got self-esteem issues compared to me, as I sit on high and chastise the peasantry. And no, I will not apologize, stubbornness runs in the nationality. And by the way, this is not an adequate term for the collective audience, for many of you are not peasants. Woo! And speaking of Dev, because I've seen some people in the comment section say I'm going the Dev route. First off, how dare you insult me with such horrid insinuations? I'm not Canadian and I never will be. Secondly, are you people nuts? Dev pisses off his audience by saying objectively dumb shit, like saying the dissident right is more communist than he is. That is an objectively stupid statement. He apparently wants to be stuck in an echo chamber surrounded by people who kiss his ass because he can't handle a dissenting opinion. This is the exact opposite of that, because the problem here isn't me, it's everyone else. In this scenario, I represent Dev's audience, and the handful of moaners in my audience represent Dev who can't handle my dissenting opinion. And I want to purge the place of every thin-skinned git who can't handle my dissenting opinion. And before anyone thinks, wow, Spoon, are you really that egotistical? Yes, I am. I'm not here to play and follow the damn crowd, and I'm not remotely concerned with audience capture. Oh, and one last thing. To the people who say I delete their comments, listen here, Susie. Pay attention to the other comments, why don't you? You will notice there is a lot of people complaining lately that comments are missing. It's 2024, you're in an election year. Secondly, I have a series called Stop Being So Stupid, where I pick the comments who disagree with me and I hammer them home. In fact, you're watching it right now! I have no fear about backlash from my audience because some of you say objectively stupid shit. There's nothing special about me or you. We're two people with comments. I will knock out the bad ones and I will praise the good ones. Simple as. Say what you want about me, but if you question my integrity based on nothing but your own emotions, I will eye a sour in your fucking ass and break the damn sound barrier. You are here to watch me. I am not here to cater to your whims. This is a channel for those who have a pair of balls and can handle a difference of opinion and perhaps learn from it. If listening to a monarchist in 2024 didn't already sink that one in, perhaps you have bigger problems. If there's 100 people watching me and 95% of them are whinging plebs spurging and 5 of them have brains that can learn a thing or two, I will happily cast away the 95 who are just here to rage because I'm not kissing their fat asses. There was this one dude who wrote this long, rambling-ass essay at me. I won't bother with the whole thing because it is lengthy, but there's this one bit here. There is, of course, a matter of your argument that not all of the article was bad, which is utterly fucking delusional. Okay? That's how we arrived at this point, by accepting little concessions, by giving a pinky. We are a frog in a pot of water, and its temperature was steadily rising for some time. A question for you. By accepting little concessions, by giving a pinky, how is me listening to you not giving you a little concession? And why should I do this? If I follow your own logic, why the hell should I listen to you and not purge you from my comment section? What do you offer me exactly? Who the hell are you to come into my comment section and chastise my product, you arrogant little son of a bitch? If you don't like it, that's your bloody problem. I'm under no obligation to listen to you at all. If this is not your taste and you want to chow down on the slop that flows from the trough that every other connigrator cracks out and simply reaffirms everything that you already believe as you whine at the first sign of disagreement like a little bitch, do me a favor, unsubscribe, stop watching my content, and get the fuck out of my comment section. Have they gone? Right, well, hopefully that should purge the place of the plebs. If you're still standing and sticking around, excellent. Hi, how you guys doing? I hope you're all very well. Just had to get that out of the way, though, because one of my buddies also said to me I should be careful, I'm going the dev route. I said, go look at the comments, and showed him some of the more, outspoken ones, shall we say? And he went, oh, yeah, they're just not very good. Because ultimately, the ego thing is all just for show, really. Goodness sake, you lot in the audience that have dissenting opinions, you guys can relate to this. I knew I was going to piss off all the mainstream people who think they're so above everything, but really they're pretty much just like the lefties, mudslingers with a different colored armband. There's nothing to do with my ego either, by the way. I'm not that special. I just took a different course of action. If you took the same course of action, well then well done to you. You're better than the rest of the plebs as well. So I want to go over some of the comments and feels, over a general vibe really, and one or two that just made me laugh. You see, I'm on Twitter all the time. I have the Wang wisdom and oodles of pattern recognition. After a while, you can see the traps. The French Stellar Blade post that was on Twitter, clearly that was bait. could see the trap, so I read the whole article. I do not and did not care whether it's pre or post edit. It makes no difference to me, because it's a standard copy and paste regime gunk that you get from every other bloody article in the mainstream when it talks about Stellar Blade. I do not give a damn, right? I saw a bunch of people who were trying to insinuate I'm a hypocrite. Good luck with that one. That's not going to stick, because I defended Az when he went beast mode on Starfield. The difference is here is that involves his money, and the woke element is constant. Oh yeah, and the game is total ass. Whereas with the article, no money of yours is involved here, no fiscal transaction has taken place, and any animosity that stirs is entirely on you. Does anyone remember this is supposed to be about a game? The article is a demo review. I am reading this because I want to know how the game plays. The opinion about Eve's physique is utterly irrelevant. It is nothing but noise. The initial part was rubbish, designed to get a reaction. Again, it was bait. It was bait by IGN, and it was bait by the twat who posted it on the Twitter. Offense is taken, not given. If you gave any inkling of irritation in response to that article, you fell for the bait and reacted so of your own volition. You did exactly what the bait was designed to do, provoke you. I am too old and too clued in to react like this. It's just an endless, boring cycle that goes nowhere, like a hamster running the wheel. There was one comment, this one. What really annoys them is when you ignore the bait and go for the real target. Case in point, the back and forth over Eve's body is missing the target of a game made outside the current industry standards. It's not just how Eve looks, but the gameplay, how the devs treat the consumer, and most of all, ignoring everything that the industry says you have to do in order to succeed. There is no bowing to any ideology other than the devs' own ideals, and that is what makes them angry. Just because the left now tries to make women as unsexy as possible doesn't mean the right should make them as slutty as possible. Excellent comment. Like I said before, cause the reaction, not be the reaction. Here's another one. The problem Spoon was pointing out is directly attacking them doesn't actually do anything. We get angry, call them out, they use that response as ammo for more hit pieces and attention to drum up more controversy, and on it goes. Calling them out doesn't do anything because everyone who cares about this has already picked a side. Good point. We're just giving them something else to be wrong about, which ironically enough is giving them more power, as their lies might sway some uninformed normies to their side of the argument, because normies never research anything, just look at the headline. Ignoring them and starving them for attention might not be the death blow we want it to be, but engaging them on their terms is only to their benefit. It is not enough to point and laugh at them or get angry. We have to take action to defeat them and their ideology. Spoon is correct. Bingo! You see that? Strategists, smarter people. Or this one. If you're hurt by an animated Spoon telling you to be better than the other political side and how to do it successfully, then I doubt he cares if you remain as part of his audience. True, I don't give a fuck. I've only watched him for a month and marathoned his videos and learned. He's going to say whatever the hell he wants to, and for some of us smart enough to understand what he's telling us, we side with him. Thank you, welcome aboard. It's freaking Sargon versus Lindsay argument all over again. Not because we're sycophants, but because he's able to prove his words, and quite easily. Which begs the question, what has all the outrage against IGN done? Nothing. I love the brains of these people. It fills me with great joy. It's like watching students get what you're trying to teach them. Very rewarding. And notice the comments. Virtually nothing about me. My conduct, my delivery, nada. It's focused almost exclusively on strategy. Thinkers. And by the way, someone in the comment section replied to him, it's possible for him to be wrong and licking his taint isn't going to make Senpai notice you. Tell me something, you dumbass. What does a comment like that prove aside from the fact that you reason like a woman? Did you disprove anything he said whatsoever? No, you just look like a spurgy twat. And then people wonder why I have a go at the comment section, because I see dumb shit like this. If I see you behave like this in my comment section, I will either berate you until you leave, or you learn to behave like a real man. It may be a comment section to you, but there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't behave yourself with a sense of decorum. Far as Stellar Blade's consumer market goes, the left thinks you're a bunch of degenerate porn addicts, and when you take a game character, virtually ignore all of the gameplay entirely, and you hoist up nothing but glistening flesh pics in slow motion, you think you're owning the libtards, but really you're embodying their caricature of you to a friggin' T. It's not masculine, it's not stoic, it's carrying on like a horny sex addict who hasn't seen a woman in 10 bloody years. It is embarrassing. Someone in the comment section called me a prude, said to the guy whose favorite female character is a tatted up psychopath who wears a belt for a bloody shirt. Fat load of fucking sense that one makes. Or let's take a look at this one as well. The whole "we need to be better and ignore them and make our own good stuff" point has been utilized in the 1990s and 2000s. It has failed. So the logical conclusion is to adapt their strategy and point it at them. Okay, already you're wrong. We didn't have this crap in the 90s and 2000s, and the best games came out of this period, so you're talking nonsense. Let's visualize it. You have a fight club. You have a blue team and red team. But one day, blue goes to a fight club with a gun and starts blasting. Sometimes they hit their own, but they don't care as long as red gets clapped. Now you have two options. You can either decide to pick up a gun and start blasting at them, or for some reason decide that you are better than that and try some other tactics, like sneaking up on them and hope you bludgeon them before they fire their shot. The reason the right is failing is because they refuse to pick up a gun. They have finally decided to pick up a gun in the last year or two, and now people are complaining that we don't look as cool as we used to. This is utter word salad bollocks. Terrible analogy. What does a gun represent here exactly? Bitching, state power? I got news for you, the right's been bitching for over a decade and it has no state power, so what exactly is your "the right picked up a gun" equivalent action representing over here? If bitching alone worked, we wouldn't be in this frickin' mess. And if you ignore them to begin with, there wouldn't be any infiltration in the bloody first place. Swing and a miss. But guess what? It works. No, it doesn't. It gave us Bud Light. It gave us the normies who are fed up with woke nonsense. It gave us "What is Woman?" So basically, you allowed them to go as far to the point that normal people got fed up with it. That's a fantastic strategy, by the way. Sure, we could also produce something good as a counterbalance, and that would be a good tool, but the reality is the gun works. Again, absolutely terrible point. This is completely wrong. What did Bud Light do? You stopped buying their products and then you forgave them for some bizarre reason. That's not a victory, that's a slap on the wrist. Case in point, they're still pushing the ideology. It achieved nothing. An own would be bankruptcy, and reducing it to dust, that would be an own. But getting back to Stellar Blade, what I do find funny, and this is cringe for everyone involved here, when the Twitter post initially came out, there was a lot of reaction of, well, who cares what the French have to say? They're French, which is kind of based actually. That's a good reaction. How you sour it then is to berate, badger, and dogpile IGN until they make a change and then cheer for it. So it was ignore the froggies up until they offer up the most limp-wristed apology since the dawn of mankind. And then, oh my god, they bent the knee, oh, cultural win! Exactly like the activists do. You are no different. This is not a win, it's a line of coke, a sugar bomb. Is IGN going to change their editorial policies? Are they going to stop writing this kind of shit? No, you've achieved absolutely fuck all, and the people reacting this way are absolutely nothing but a bunch of empty-headed cheerleaders who get hard at hollow symbolism. The journalists mean nothing. They are the lowest foot soldiers of the regime. Their job is to propagandize at you, and you react to it over and over again in a cycle of demoralization. No more, no less. Like I said previously, you're not upset at the journalists, you're upset at what they represent symbolically and why the higher-ups in the system are listening to them. In reality, they aren't. The journalists are just regime pawns who cheer the crap the activists in the studios produce. They have no minds of their own. It's a collective effort. As far as the apology goes, do you think the author of the article did that, or was it the IGN HQ who did that? Not strike you guys as kind of weird that the author of the article pretty much was pulled from it as far as I'm aware, and someone higher up at IGN got involved over here? Like Harmful said, it's Team IGN. God knows how many people wrote the thing. But I'll end this with a funny note, because this genuinely gives me a hearty chuckle. If you were to look at this purely from the consumer perspective, regardless of whatever you think of the French journalist, he did give the game glowing praise. He's going to buy it. And guess what? So are you. So when it comes down to flexing the only tangible aspect of power you have, you and the journalist are on the same damn side. And isn't that just peak fucking irony, all things considered? Cheers for watching, and once again, screw all of you, I apologize for nothing.